number one thing that you need to be worried about if you decide to buy an AMG GT 53. What's good, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you like these type of videos. It's kind of going over car stuff for the enthusiasts. So I recently did a video about the AMG GT 53's pros and why I think it's a great car for a daily driver. But now I'm going to dig and try to find some cons for people that are looking to get the car that I think you should also be aware of before you decide to purchase it. Or if you've got it, maybe you agree, let me know in the comments. So I'm going to pick 4 that I think are kind of real nitpicky, but there is one that's like a big concern about the car that I think anybody should be prepared for if they decide to get it. And we'll go over that one last. So the first thing I'll start with is definitely probably the rear seat. As you know, it's a hatchback, so it does have some good trunk space. However, I really wish that the rear seats actually folded down so that it was pretty much like a pass-through, so I could get more items in there. So that's something that I feel like was a con, because I thought that would make it a lot easier when I'm buying big things or going to Home Depot for some of my DIY projects, that I could put the stuff in the car. But really I can't. Nothing really can fit back there besides what goes in the trunk. So that's kind of a con for me, but may not be for others. The second thing I can kind of come up with is, let's say, the gas mileage. Again, I think it's rated for like 19 city, 24 highway, but you're probably not going to get that. As you can see, I drive in sport most of the time. Most everyone drives this car in sport, so you're probably going to be getting less than that. So if you're worried about fuel economy or how much you're going to be paying for gas, this probably is not something you want to get, because it does go through gas. But most people that's buying this car probably aren't worried about gas anyway. But if you are, just know it's gonna eat your pockets. Let's see, another con. Again, I'm really having to pull these things out of the weeds. The maintenance costs for this car. Now, I bought mine brand new, and then I had the maintenance package put on it, where Mercedes pretty much paid for like the first couple years of all my services. So I actually haven't had to eat any of the costs associated with actually having the car and having maintenance performed on it. But I know how much they cost. So that's something that I'm glad I haven't had to worry about. But if you're getting it used, make sure you get a warranty or something like that, because the repairing this car, I promise you, is not cheap. But again, it's a luxury car, so you should you should be expecting that when you bought it. So again, that's a minor con, because you kind of should know that it's going to cost a little bit more to for the upkeep of this car. Let's see, the fourth kind of con, I would say, which is one that's kind of more annoying than any. The fourth one I would say is the placement of the charging pad in the car, but it's pretty much like behind the cup holders. So if you put anything in the cup holders, your charging pad is pretty much useless. Then I really have never really used it, just because the phone will slide all around, and if you actually need to access the phone, it's in such a bad position that you really have to dig your hand up under there to even get it. So I really don't even like it. If you use it, you can let me know, but for me, it's kind of a waste. I just plug a USB-C or a cigarette lighter, which is in the armrest, and that's pretty much how I charge my phone. So those are the 4 cons that I feel like are kind of nitpicky, but they're things that you just need to be aware of when you get the car. So now we'll get into the number one con that I think if you have this car, you really need to be aware of. Okay, so for this last one, I had to pull over so I could straight up talk to you guys. Um, I think the top number one thing that you need to be worried about if you decide to buy an AMG GT 53 has got to be the tires. Like I said, I'm running 21-inch summer tires on mine. They're also run flat, and that's probably been the biggest problem I've had. At one point, I blew about 4 tires on this car in, I would say, the span of like 5 or 6 months. So it was really bad. If you don't believe it, like take a look at these videos. The worst luck. The worst. So as you can see there, like every time I blew a tire, it was like different tires and it was different spots of the tires. Now again, obviously I'm driving 21-inch rims, so I'm sure that factors into it. There's summer tires, they're low profile, and then they're also run flats. So I'm sure combine all that together, that's probably why I be having problems, and especially because the roads out here in the DMV really are trash. So you hit a pothole, you're gonna blow a tire. So you got to be really careful with that. Luckily, I decided to get the tire and rim package when I got the car. So every time I was blowing a tire, I could just take it to the dealership and they would give me a new one. The problem with that is, like I said in my other video about the GT, is that there's no spare in this car. So if you blow your tire, you are stuck. You're either going to have a tow truck come and get you to drive the car or to tow it back to the dealership. And then usually the dealers don't even carry this tire in stock for my 21-inch rim. So they have to order it, which takes like 2 to 3 days. So you could be out of a car for a blown tire for like a week. So it's really something that I've considered when I decided just to go away from the summer weight tires, or excuse me, the run flat tires. And I just got a set of all season tires to put on it. Ever since I put those on there, I've had no issues. Like the tires obviously last longer. I'm going longer without having to replace them. And I haven't blown the tire since. So if there's anything I would recommend is if you're getting this car new, please get the tire and rim package. It may cost you a little extra when you're at the table, but it's going to benefit you a lot because if you have summer tires, which I believe most all these cars, at least in the 20 and 21-inch rim size, if you blow tires, you're going to be pissed because you're not only going to have to pay for a tire, but you're going to be out of a car for maybe a week, depending on your dealership. So I would suggest getting the tire and rim package or switching to all season tires yourself so you can save yourself the hassles that I went through. So that's pretty much my cons for the AMG. Like I said, some of them I felt like were a little nitpicky because there aren't too many bad things about the car. But the top one, that is a serious concern that you need to be focused on if you decide to get the car. So hopefully you guys appreciated my cons on it. If you like the video, like, subscribe. I'm going to try to keep coming out with more content with this vehicle as well as the M8, which I am working on getting out soon. So if you got any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll definitely answer them when I get some time. Thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.